Okay, what up, guys? We're live. Little technical difficulties, but we're here. Me and my man AQ Fresh, Anthony Quaranta. I'm your host, Sean Sales, and we're going to be talking best ball. We got the playoffs starting tomorrow, so we'll do a little best ball draft. We're going to do a best ball review. We'll do a little NFL preview. We're going to jump around, but mostly we just want to talk about, year ended, what went right, what went wrong, and obviously how can we be better for next year. So, Anthony, what's shaking?
Not a whole lot. This was this was a strange year for me. Um, Best ball didn't go as well as I would have hoped, and I made 4 championships in my 13 managed leagues, and I won 0 championships.
How many did you win last year?
Last year, I won. I think I won 2
Nice.
last year.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't win any this year.
So quick story, but 2 is making it to week 17 and then finishing like top 2.
No. I'm talking about for my managed leagues.
Right. Okay. Sorry.
Like the Redraft Keeper Dynasty. Yeah, when I won 4 championship weekend, and I lost 2 of them by a total of like 3.5 points.
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, so it was tough, but all is well. Just happy to be here.
Okay, cool. So, let's just dive into best ball, right? I was doing a little research on the players on the most winning rosters. You want to just take a stab at who do you think who they would be?
The most winning rosters. This is for best ball?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is Jonathan Taylor on there? I know he was on a lot of advanced rates, but I know he didn't do that well towards the end of the year. Did Jonathan Taylor sneak on?
I don't even see him. I don't see him in the top 50. No.
Luther Burden.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a great one. Why? I'm not seeing. He's got to be there. Jonathan Taylor's here. Yeah, it's a top 50 list, but yeah. But
okay.
Puka, JSN, Bijan, Trey McBride, CMC.
Yeah, Bijan was going to be up there. Kyle Pitts, where's Kyle Pitts? I know he had a dud week 17, but week 15 to 16, he got you to week 17.
Yeah. He's at 14.9% teams. Puka at 29.1.
Drake May is probably up there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't hear you mention him, but he's probably, I'd imagine, on the list as well.
18%. He's like the maybe 9th.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. I mean, those are some guys that, knowing how the season went now, expected for their performances for week 18 or week 17.
But so it's just funny because it's like at the beginning in the summer, right? We did this giant preview, and it's like these guys on the number 1 teams, JSN. I banged the drum all summer. I said top 5, Trey McBride. I talked about Trey McBride, elite tight end. Bijan, I said go first overall. James Cook, Drake May. I said Drake May, has got the best value. All these guys, and then I didn't do that well either.
That's just how it goes. Sometimes you just need the right combination in the right weeks. Really, is what it is. Because we look at interesting, for example, James Cook, right? James Cook got you there. James Cook led the league in rushing. I think off the top of my head.
Yeah, right.
He led the league in rushing yards, and then he puts up kind of a dud in week 17 and you lose, right? And so it's just sometimes it's more of having the right guys at the right time.
So is that what you look at, week 17? I look at like 15 to 17, like just the total fantasy playoffs.
Yeah.
Cook was the RB5 in the fantasy football playoffs.
What was he week 17 specifically? Because
bad. Yeah.
Obviously it's important to get to week 17. So weeks 15 and 16 are important. I guess I was just kind of focusing specifically on week 17.
So that's kind of what I want to talk about. It's like there's all this correlation stuff in the summer because, we just need stuff to digest. But that week 17 correlation, strength of schedule for the fantasy playoffs. But for me, it's like the math doesn't seem to math. Because in redraft, sure, if you got 12-team league, 14-team team, 18 teams make the playoffs, then you should be planning for it. But in best ball, if it's a 12-team pod and only 2 teams are going on, and then 2 teams make it to week 15, and then 1 or 2 make it to week 16, right? It's the percentage is crazy. So like to get to week 17, you got maybe a 2% chance. I just think
not even
trying to plan for that is just so foolish. Whereas like all I would care about is get into that week 15 pod and then just let the chips fall.
And that's definitely a strategy and a mindset, and it's just kind of an ongoing battle in the best ball community. Like how important is the Week 17 correlation. The team that won the $2 million prize, unfortunately, not mine, but the team that won the $2 million prize had a lot of Week 17 correlation, honestly, but the way that the scores matched up, it didn't particularly matter that much in a sense. Because nobody really had Jake Tonjes, who
Yeah. Oh, was that Bears Niners game?
Yeah, there were a lot of players in that game that you needed, but it's not necessarily the players you would have thought of going into draft season. You would have thought it would Kittle instead of Tonjes. You would have thought Romo Dunes maybe instead of Luther Burden, although that one may be a little a rookie. You think he comes on, but I think you kind of get the point. So it's just an ongoing battle.
But I think that's reverse engineering the correlation. The winning team is correlated because it won.
Yeah, I mean
right?
Sure.
I don't think you correlate at the beginning of the season for that. It's just it's just so much luck that it was involved this season. Like in Week 15, if you didn't have Trevor Lawrence or Kyle Pitts, you probably couldn't move on.
Yeah, it was probably definitely a bit tougher. Now, I don't have the exact numbers, but yeah, if you didn't have a couple of that, and that's the thing about the playoffs, it's like a couple of key guys every week can really carry a team that maybe isn't as strong as other teams just because they, like you said, Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, week 15, 16, whenever they blew up like that. That's just how it goes. 15, that's just how it goes sometimes. For me, whenever I draft, I pay attention to the week 17 correlation. I don't force it, but I'll use it as a tiebreaker. It's if I'm just torn between players, I'll be week 17 correlation. I'll pick this guy instead of this guy or whatever the case may be. I low-key also did kind of start looking at the week 15 and 16 schedules too. And using
I think that's way more important personally.
Yeah. I what you can try to do even is I forget what year it was, but there was a year where it was, and I might be messing up the teams, but you'll get the idea. It was the Ravens, Steelers, Chiefs, and Texans all kind of played each other. They kind of just swapped teams and matchups weeks 16 and 17 or 15 and 16. So you almost kind of got to double dip in the correlation. So that was a really popular strategy that year.
Even though the defenses on all those teams would be good, Houston's always got a good defense. Baltimore, Pittsburgh too. KC's been pretty good.
Yeah, because the offenses are just so good. Sure. Are you not going to take Patrick Mahomes because he plays the Houston defense week 17? No, you're going to take Patrick Mahomes and you're going to live with it. Yeah, there's always just so much to consider, and it also depends on how much volume you play. If you're a high volume player, me did 600 drafts, you can, you're willing to kind of get funky with different drafts and just kind of see different strategies. Whereas if you are only planning on drafting, 5, 10, 20, 50 teams, you probably want to just do some more of what you really believe in and what you want to do, opposed to, just kind of seeing what you can get again and doing something different.
Yeah, so let's talk about what you did, and then if you're going to do the same thing. So, who are your highest percentage players that you had? What was the percentage? It was 23?
I had 38 or 39% Rico Dowdle, which was a really good decision. The next highest was 28% Ricky Pearsall, which did not work out at all. I was kind of a mixed bag on my higher end players. Drake London was one of the higher end players, kind of a mixed bag. And he finished, I think, probably a top 10 or 15 receiver, but kind of a mixed bag. Missed a lot of, came back for week 17, but missed 4 weeks there at the end of the year. So that kind of stunk. I had 20% Malik Neighbors. Injuries just happen. Just kind of sucks to suck, I guess. Xavier Worthy was up there. That was a big miss. JSM was up there. Thank you for that. Big success. Kyle Pitts was one of my higher end tight ends. I wish I had more Drake May. I didn't have nearly enough Drake May. I'm just running through the positions in my head and rambling off names. I had a lot of Michael Penix. The Falcons were so weird because it's Drake London on paper looked pretty good. Didn't really feel that way, but Pitts was good for where you got him, and Bijan was worth the top 3 pick. but Michael Penix was just not good. So it was really strange for the Falcons this year.
I don't even know if he wasn't good. I kind of blame the coaching because, like, when they were cooking, it was just Bijan Drake, Bijan Drake.
Mean, for fantasy, I should say, obviously there's the separation between fantasy and real life, but for fantasy, it just didn't happen for fantasy this year. But it happened for the major pieces, and at least in spurts. So that was kind of perplexing, but. I mean, I could just go on, but those are kind of some of the highest rostered players that I had.
But so we'll kind of bounce back for this year, next year. Yeah. So for next season, would you go more all in on guys like a Rico Dowdle and just like leave it with 60%? Like have those maybe core mid-late round guys that you just locked in and love, and then it's like I'm not leaving my draft without them because the value if they hit is so good, or spread it out more. Or my thing is, because our one team, when we were Rams heavy, like, would you go maybe just more team-oriented stacks?
So as far as the later round picks, I would like to try to, and I mean, it's hard to get, when you're doing so many drafts, it's hard to get 50% in there. It's every other draft. I did have at one point over 50% Rico Dowdle, but again, just hard to maintain. I'm definitely going to continue to have a couple late round guys that I just love and go all in on, because you can miss on a 15th round pick, a 16th round pick, a 17th, 18th round pick, and be completely fine just because it's so late in the draft.
You did miss on an 8th round pick.
Right. Yeah. And I think the thing that I'm going to change a little bit for next year is for the earlier rounds, the first round, like Malik Neighbors was a first round pick. I had 20%. Once he got hurt, essentially 20% of your teams are, I mean, if you can make it to week 15, I mean, that's probably good in itself. Like that's probably your.
You would have needed to draft like Michael Wilson in the 16th round.
Right. So I think that trying to be a little more flat in the earlier rounds is something that I'm going to try to do next year. Like I would have been really great if I could have put even just 5% of those Malik Neighbors draft picks into Christian McCaffrey, who I had like 2% of, and they went, I think, back to back for a while. So I think diversifying more in the early rounds. One of my favorite starts, and I don't have the exact numbers, but quite a bit of it, was Malik Neighbors, Drake London, JSN, and Xavier Worthy. Like I just started 4 wide receivers, and I mean, in the preseason, you're like, that looks incredible, right? Especially for best ball, like that looks awesome. Really, the only one that truly worked out and you felt good about was JSN. Injuries happen, obviously, Malik Neighbors, but so I think
Worthy got hurt week 1 too.
Yeah, true. I know I did forget about that. So I think just diversifying early on is going to be something that I focus on a little bit more.
So again, and then the flip side of that, so like we go through the first round, Chase, probably in general, Chase went first overall, good pick. Second, let's say it was Bijan, good pick. Third, Gibbs. Gibbs kind of flamed out. You didn't win if you got Gibbs, right?
I mean, you could have, but it probably tough. He didn't do that.
He's terrible in the playoffs. But yeah. But then fourth, then maybe Jefferson, huge bust. Yeah. Right. The CMC was great. There's Brian Thomas Jr. bust. Malik Neighbors bust. Then if the
Amon-Ra, great.
Yeah, right. So it's like it's a 50% in that first round, kind of like total bust, or play to their expectations, right? So if you do flatten it, then like you're giving yourself maybe kind of a 50% chance, right? I'm thinking, do you go all in and pick 4 guys and you just getting them? Because if you had 25% Puka, you probably would have advanced in 10, 20 more pools.
Yeah, I would have had a lot more advancing teams and probably would have had a lot more success. So, like I said, even if I just put, 5% of my Malik Neighbors into Christian McCaffrey, I probably would have, I would have been a lot more successful there too. And that's just 5%. So, yeah, definitely need to be a little more flat. And I guess hedge your bets, if you will, if you want to look at it like that. Because fading Christian McCaffrey ended up just not being a good idea. Like,
yeah, but I was right there with you.
Oh, I know. Hey, you can't be right about everything. But yeah, I mean, again, if you're doing a small amount of drafts, then Yeah, you take the guys you believe in, but I do a lot of volume, so I definitely need to.
Yeah, well, let's think volume because
Yeah,
I think people who do it like to do volume. But so
yeah.
why not just do 32 teams, do one, and you're just stacking each team in each draft? Like, why wouldn't one of those teams probably win?
No, it depends so much as well on the other players you have on your roster too, right? Like if you focus on like one team, you do 32 and you draft you just make sure you draft all the Cardinals and all the Falcons and all the Bears and all the Saints and whatever the case may be.
Well, core guys, I'm saying, but like
No,
with
sure.
Arizona, right? Let's say I probably had to draft Kyler. I probably had to draft James Conner, L. Maybe more going to L. But if I got Trey McBride, I'd probably take Michael Wilson late. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
I'm probably not getting Jacoby, so maybe it's not that, but like the Rams, just that Rams was the one we had. I was like, oh my God, we are set up here with
Yeah.
Puka, Devontae Stafford. But, Devontae got hurt.
So I guess putting it like that, I mean, there are definitely, I mean, I definitely do draft, a draft, I guess, quote unquote, for every team where like I end up stacking every team at some point. So I mean, theoretically you can, but it matters like so much as well as just like um the secondary and tertiary players that you're getting on your roster. Like Rico Dowdle was a big success, even if he really was just in your roster for that 6 to 8 week period. Michael Wilson for weeks 11 to 15. Like if you try to focus too much on like a specific team, you might kind of miss out on some of those players on those teams as well. So it's just important to be flexible. And again, for the late round guys, if you believe in them, go for it.
So, but like, what were the team stacks this season that would have won? Like, beginning, right? I love Dallas, right? If you go that Dak Pickens Lamb, right? But then they fade. Dallas couldn't. They had tough games. They didn't do anything
Right.
in the fantasy playoffs, right? So Dallas got wiped out.
Yeah.
Right. Cincy was obviously the popular one, but Burrow got hurt early. Higgins got hurt. So off the top of your Jacksonville, like who's the best?
The Rams, I think, were probably just again without kind of the numbers here, just
Sure.
eye test and whatnot. The Rams was probably definitely one if you survived Adams being out. Like if you kind of stacked it without Adams, like in that second or that 2-3 turn, 3-4 turn, wherever they were going. I know Adams and Kyron were kind of going right next to each other. If you kind of went Kyron's instead of Adams, that was probably a bit more successful for you. The Rams were one. Low-key, maybe the Texans, if you were able to take Nico Collins to the playoffs. He really played well. Jaden Higgins.
Nico, and then maybe you take Woody Marks late.
Yeah, Woody Marks was one of my favorite late-round picks. So, yeah, like that would be a good one off the top of my head. The Eagles were kind of weird in that Jalen Hurts, I mean, did pretty well all season, but they were just so unbalanced and just underwhelming.
Yeah, because you can have a great week, like 15, 16, 17, but if you didn't have a good season, it doesn't matter. Right. You're not going to make there, right? You need both.
The Bears, if you had some secondary pieces outside of Rome, I'm sure the Bears were successful. Like Luther Burden went off week 17. Loveland was really successful the second half of the season. They ended up getting both running backs involved with Swift and Monangai at some point successfully for Monangai. So I'm sure the Bears were part of it. That Bears 49ers game had some key pieces. I know we talked about it earlier, but again, just different than you would have expected going into the season. The Falcons probably had some pieces as well. That Rams-Falcons game was an important one. Again, not a lot of people probably had Kirk Cousins, but if you had the pieces, if you had the right pieces in that game, I'm sure it made some sort of difference as well.
Okay. So let's talk running backs. So is the handcuff even more important? Like teams like the Pats, right, where everyone loved Travion, but Ramondre was the guy, and then Travion was the guy. Seattle, right? Ken Walker kind of sucked. Charbonnet sucked, but Charbonnet got all the touchdowns. We just talked Chicago. Monaghan came on. Like Woody Marks, right, came on. We never even saw
Roschon Johnson.
What?
Roschon Johnson?
No, on Houston, who's
I'm sorry, Houston, Joe Mixon. Sorry, I missed. Yeah, Joe Mixon.
But like, is the handcuff even more important? I'm trying to think of other teams where it worked, but like, because especially even Atlanta, if there's a random games where Bijan didn't score and Algier got 2, right? But then obviously if
Yeah.
Bijan got hurt, then Algier goes to the moon. Like, would you draft a stud running back and ever not take the RB2 on the team?
I mean, I certainly do, just because you don't want to draft every team the same, and like I don't want all of my Bijan teams to have Algier, because what if Algier doesn't do anything, right? Like,
Okay,
but
that makes sense.
I am a big proponent of just stacking a backfield. I love the strategy. I feel like it might be growing a little in popularity, but I feel like it's definitely in the minority. And I do it for that exact, like you get the entire backfield. Like say there's the Seattle backfield you mentioned was a perfect example. You know, they it was really back and forth weekly, and then Charbonnet was the goal line back, but then there were weeks where Ken Walker was the guy and Charbonnet did nothing. So like you get all of it. You get the good weeks from Walker and you get the good weeks from Charbonnet. And it's a high volume backfield. And you can say the same thing for the Panthers with Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. We saw Hubbard he started out well, 16 points the first couple of games. And then I think he had a down game and then he got hurt, right? And then you get Rico Dowdle's back-to-back 200-yard games, and then he's putting, I think he had another like 20-30 point game in there as well. And then you saw towards the end of the season they split for a little bit, and then it kind of swung back to Chuba Hubbard a little bit. Obviously in the playoffs they kind of dudded both week 17, but I love getting both running backs in a backfield, and I don't hesitate at the chance to do it.
And then what were some other good ones? Because like let's say the Chargers, right? Everyone loved Hampton, but would think was Kamani Vidal the RB2, or think maybe people would have gone Hassan Haskins.
It would have been Najee Harris in draft season, and
Right?
that's just kind of
Exactly.
unfortunate. But yeah, I mean, I had teams where I had Hampton and Harris, and
Sure.
I mean, you think it looks good when Harris
Yeah.
when Hampton goes down, you're like, okay, good. I got Najee.
Even better.
Hampton might come in, and then Harris goes down, and then I mean, yeah, but if
And
you
the
drafted
O-line.
Vidal, yeah, sure. So that would have been a good one. I'm trying to think of what ended up working out other than the ones that we discussed. The Rams were a pretty good one with
Yeah, Corum coming on at the end.
Yeah, Corum came on. The Cardinals should have been a good one. But when Benson got hurt, and then I mean nobody was really drafting DeMarcado and Michael Carter and
Denver
it just
probably
became a mess.
Denver is probably the perfect one, right? You got all the Dobbins, he gets hurt, then you get all the Harvey. So you get complete RB1 protection from one of them the whole season.
That was a perfect example. Detroit was always a good one, but Montgomery was a little underwhelming this season. So
was Gibbs.
Yeah, Gibbs had his big games, but just as far as like even what you expect from Montgomery in that RB2 role, it was a little underwhelming. You can look at the Giants with Tracy and Scadaboo. Scadaboo got hurt, and Tracy ended up being pretty successful towards the end of the season. Had a couple of useful games. You mentioned the Patriots. I think those were really kind of the big ones as far as where the handcuff was important.
Yeah, Gibbs was a RB23 in the playoffs. Minnesota would be another one that kind of maybe didn't work because Aaron Jones played, got hurt. Mason had 1 or 2 good games. Jones came back.
Yeah,
I feel like they kind of like that Seattle. They cannibalized each other a bit. They didn't run and the Minnesota offense was so bad.
That's a really good example too. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay, so we're gonna do a best ball draft in a second here. But anywhere else you want to go? Like, did you learn any lessons from this season of like stuff not to do? We talked about spreading out that first round.
Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest one I think I'm going to focus on. And I think just kind of trying to create a narrative with each draft. Like, we're like Christian McCaffrey is going to be healthy this season, not a narrative I painted very often. And kind of building a team based off of that. Like Christian McCaffrey is going to be like the guy in San Francisco. So like I'll, kind of draft based off of that. But no, I mean, really just diversifying a bit more up top is just the main focus I'm going to work on next season.
What about quickly the QBs? So let's join the draft. So
let's get into that. I'll share. Don't exit. Share. Screen. All right. Here we go.
Perfect. But so with all the QB injuries this season, right? Would you draft the backup QB you know, on Cincy? Like if they had Flacco next year, right? As the backup, you take Burrow and then you take Flacco with your last pick because we said Jaden Daniels, Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar. Like what elite QB didn't get hurt other than Josh Allen?
I am sorry. It's not detecting my location, which is a big problem for drafting. I always I'll dabble in the backup quarterbacks as far as drafting them. I did it with Joe Flacco this year, but I did it with Joe Flacco a lot last year. Yeah, I mean, I'm for it. I think this year kind of made me realize though that anything can happen as far as backup quarterback rooms. Like I drafted a lot of Sam Howell in best ball, a lot.
My guy.
Yeah, a lot for backup quarterback. I didn't have like 10%, but when you're considering backup quarterback, I drafted, he was probably the one guy that was a clear backup. Daniel Jones ended up being the starter that I was going after this season. And had he not got traded to Philly, I think it would have been successful.
Oh my God.
Because we saw McCarthy missed some games, and we saw Wentz had some success. And I just think at this point Howell's probably better than Wentz. And so that's one that I'm actually that's one that I think about
every day.
I think about that one every day. I'm like, man, if we would have saw Sam Howell instead of Carson Wentz, maybe some more of my, at least especially some of my super flex teams, would have been a little bit more successful.
Yeah, so there's that randomness chaos factor that comes into these best ball drafts that you can't really account for. But like my favorite is Arizona, right? They end up leading the league in passing, right? Because Kyler got hurt.
Did they?
Yeah, they threw the most passes in the league.
Oh, okay, most pass attempts. I was gonna say I think Dak or Stafford led the league in passing, but
yeah,
pass attempts.
Yeah. But if you go by team yards, it's probably pretty close.
Sure, yeah.
But right, so it's the beginning of the season. I'm like, oh, I love Trey McBride. I like, so I'm taking him, but I'm worried about Kyler. Who knew that Kyler getting hurt would springboard McBride, right? It's just one of those things that's impossible to predict, impossible to kind of play for. But like, maybe is there, like, if you're taking the, two weapons, like if I went Puka and Adams and something on the Rams, I would take the backup Rams QB. I don't even know who it is, Jimmy G. You take Jimmy G late, and it's like you plan for this crazy doomsday scenario, and you'd be the only one benefiting off it, right?
And that's definitely a strategy, and I like, I'll definitely, Sorry, share screen. I'll definitely mess around and do that. Like if I am going, like we do, like the Ram stack, right, and you miss out on it, I am more than happy to just if I have a quarterback room where I waited and I took two that I'm iffy about, I'll just take the third quarterback like I did with Sam Howell a lot. Jimmy, just sticking with the example of the Rams, if you did it with Jimmy G and Stafford gets hurt, you're looking pretty good. If you did it with Jacoby Brissett, we'll stick on the Cardinals, you're probably pretty happy with that ultimately.
Yeah, he probably qualified for you every week. He's probably your quarterback every week he started.
Yeah, like every week he played, there was a strong chance. So I'll definitely do that in spurts if I wanted to add a third quarterback and got sniped on the starter, and I feel like it's a situation where the backup has a realistic chance of playing, whether it's a shaky starter or like I kind of predicted with.
Okay, yeah. So guys, we're doing a playoff best ball draft. We're kind of doing this raw. I mean, what do we take Josh Allen first?
He went second overall.
Okay, so what do we like? I mean, Bills Rams is kind of what everyone wants. So should we go avoid that because that's what everyone's going to be going for?
Maybe. I liked James Cook. I mean, it's tough not to take Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but they're dogs. They're probably going to lose to Philly.
I mean, I'm cool with taking. I'd go Drake May.
I think they're going to lose to the Chargers. Saquon?
We can go Saquon. Let's go Saquon.
I mean, I think Philly's dope. I had Jason and Brian on Thursday. Jason's a Niners fan. Wasn't that optimistic? Brian's like one of those negative Philly fans. He's like, I'm not even worried. So,
do you want to go? I think.
Who do you like in the AFC? I kind of like the Chargers, but they could lose to the Pats. Obviously, the Bills are probably that's the path you want. I mean, you don't really want Denver guys, right?
I low key like whoever wins the Bills Jaguars game. As far as the AFC goes, that's.
Yeah. I love Houston. I think Houston's awesome. I mean, I think Nico's like the secret weapon in this.
Nico Collins.
Is there another one?
No, yeah, sorry. I think it. Yeah, I don't know what happened. We have plenty of time. Devontae Adams, we can go. Nico Collins is down there. I'd be fine to reach on Nico Collins if you want to.
Because like in this, I feel like
I don't love AJ Brown.
Are people just getting is it just a team stack that's gonna go? Like somebody's gonna go Josh Allen, James Cook, Dalton Kincaid. If Buffalo goes to the Super Bowl, they're probably winning.
Yeah, this is tough because like if a team gets eliminated, like it's just a dead spot on your roster. We went Nico Collins, by the way. We're kind of running out of time. I like the pick. You said you liked him.
I think Houston's dope. Their O-line worries me, but the defense is elite. Stroud's a playoff guy. Nico's a super stud.
They just have to get by Pittsburgh in the first round, going to Pittsburgh.
I'm not that worried.
That's not terribly worried. Definitely a bit of a concern, but I mean, I like Nico Collins. I'm happy to take him here.
I don't think Tomlin's a playoff coach. I don't think Rodgers has got pretty much playoffs in him, and they got nobody to put on Nico. So
I think if Jalen Hurts makes it to us,
100%,
yeah, and we just get like all of the Eagles rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, hopefully.
If we don't, then I think we just wait for CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Damn, Jalen Hurts went. I mean, I am cool with. I wonder. What do you think?
So, how much of it hit Josh Jacobs? It's a little far down there, but is it one of each?
No, I think you start one running back, two receivers, a quarterback, and a flex. Well, receiver, tight end. We've got one pick. I think we could wait on Josh Jacobs until 20 if we want to get him.
I wouldn't. I don't want to get like a. I don't want to get. I would take Herbert because I think they beat the Pats. I don't think the Pats are ready. May's dope, but first playoff game. Chargers defense is elite.
You're talking about Justin Herbert?
Yeah.
There's not two Herberts. You want to take? We're running out of time. You want to take Jacoby Myers? He's just been balling.
I mean, Parker Washington's been the better wide receiver the last couple of games.
We've got 1 second.
So, yeah, whatever. Take him, yeah.
well, we have 1 second. 30 seconds goes quick. I would like to avoid Josh Jacobs. I'm just still worried about the knee.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't run for 100 yards once all season.
Okay, we're up. I like Courtland Sutton. He's just kind of a touchdown machine.
Sure, whatever. Okay. We need a QB though, don't we? Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, we could stack Lawrence and Jacoby. Yeah, let's do that. I like that. Let's go ahead and do that. I wonder where CJ Stroud. Oh, CJ Stroud's going all the way at 53. No, I like Trevor Lawrence though. I think that, like I said, yeah, like I said, I think the winner of that game has a good shot at winning the AFC. So, stacking Jaguars is something that I'm pretty good with there.
I just don't know. Josh Allen's the best player in the playoffs, best player in football. I just don't see him losing week 1. I've been watching football a long time.
I know. I am picking Buffalo to win that game, but it's just one of those scenarios where, hey, we got to paint the narrative that Jacksonville wins this game. You know, this is going to be a Jacksonville-oriented team, I guess.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's in Jacksonville. Jacksonville is really good this year.
Buffalo could be looking past them a bit. Do you remember there's a Jags-Steelers game?
Yeah.
Bortles?
Sure do.
Pittsburgh was looking past them to New England, and the Jags just dropped like 40 on them. It was like the craziest game ever. It was like 42-38. Pittsburgh tried to come back, but they couldn't. And And so, Jacksonville's done it.
What do you think about, even though we don't have, what's his name? Even though we don't have Hurts, what do you think about going Goddard? He's just been a touchdown machine.
Yeah, do it. Sure. Got her.
If he's
I love
there.
that.
Yeah, like just touchdown. Like I feel like if the three most predictable guaranteed touchdown scores for the Eagles have been Hurts, Saquon, and
Goddard.
So yeah. Hopefully he's still there. If not, we can. Is Derrick Henry out?
Philly's not in the playoffs. Baltimore's not in the playoffs.
Oh, duh. I was like, wait a minute. Man, they should just take him out because that's a little that's confusing. All right, so hopefully Goddard's there. If not, what do you think?
Blake Corum.
Yeah, I was running through that in my head. Or we can go Woody Marks as well. I like Blake Corum.
That's true. That's not bad. Little Woody. Where Woody at?
Either one. I mean, all right. So I think we have 3 good picks.
Yeah.
And we've got. So we're gonna get at least one of these guys. Maybe we'll get 2.
I kind of like Dalton Kincaid if we don't get Goddard too.
Do you want to
Goddard over Kincaid, but
do you want to go Goddard over the 2 running backs and just maybe we'll see what running back comes back to us, or just see what it looks like?
Or
do you want to go with
Goddard? Because I mean, there's only so many tight ends you're gonna want.
You don't have to start a tight end. Just
yeah, okay. Cut him.
So Corum.
Oh, I love me. Yeah, I think Corum. Corum.
All right.
Corum showed he's just as good as Kyron, and if Kyron fumbles or stumbles, McVay might just put Corum in, right?
I mean, Corum's been really good to end the season. I still do like Dallas Goedert though, like I said, just because he's got that huge touchdown upside. But I'm happy to look in a different direction if you want to go ahead and take Woody Marks, and then maybe well, no, I don't want to know if I want to take 2 AFC quarterbacks. What do you want to do here? We've got almost 15 seconds.
We gotta go again. Let's take Goddard. We don't have to start. I like Goddard. He's a touchdown machine. Touchdowns are king.
Yeah, that's my thought. I mean, he can certainly dud, but like I said, I think he's set a career high for touchdowns. They clearly are using him this year.
No Fred Warner too, so
Yeah, I like that. And then if we do take another quarterback, I think it should be an NFC quarterback.
Okay. Who's left?
And I'm just thinking, maybe I'm overthinking it. I'm just thinking just to maximize.
It makes sense. Caleb. I mean, yeah. Oh, Darnizzle. Because we get the one Lawrence game no matter what.
Yeah, I like Sam Darnold. Then we can just tack on. I'm sure that the running back. The running backs might not be available. Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with Sam Darnold if he's there. Oh, well, I'm sure he will likely be there. Do we want to put on Ladd McConkey? On the team? I know he's been disappointing.
I love him. Yeah, he broke the record last year. Rookie, he had like 198 yards.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a value here, and maybe
it's taking him first.
Yeah, like maybe it's just like the name, right? Maybe it's just the big name that we're looking at. He just went. So all right, no, but that tells me that we were on the right track, which is good.
I did the preview. Guess what his number is for tomorrow, or the
yardage?
Yeah.
53.
36.5.
36.5. Wow.
I was like, he did 7 times better than that in his first playoff game. 6, I guess.
Sam Darnold just went. So what are we thinking?
Jordan Love, Caleb. I like Packers over Bears, but
do you?
I'm not. I don't like rookie QBs in their first game.
Well, he's a second-year quarterback.
Their first playoff game. Like, I don't like Drake May, Chargers.
I honestly wouldn't hate Troy Franklin. I know he has the first round bye.
We need a QB. Oh, second QB. Troy Franklin's not terrible. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, we went Caleb Williams because the clock ran out.
Great. I like that anyway.
So sorry about that. Sometimes it just happens.
No, I want Caleb. I would have taken Caleb because it's like if Lawrence loses, then
we could pop DJ Moore if he's there.
I feel like we should just keep taking QBs.
I don't think we need more than 2.
But if they both lose,
do you want to take a third quarterback now?
I think it's the only position that matters.
Do we? Let's see. There's still some.
Like Stroud, we can take Stroud.
We can. We can take Stroud. I would take DJ Moore if it was up to me. But
Burden's still there. Rome's still there. Like
Burden went. Loveland just went. Rome is there, but Rome's been hurt, and Rome hasn't been really good the second half.
No, for sure. It was more of
a. You want to go Stroud then?
I'd go Stroud because.
All right, let's do it.
And then obviously maybe one more QB. No, I'm kidding.
No, I think we are good on quarterback now.
No, of course we are. But it's just if Bears and Jags lose, which I think they both will, it's over.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. This is low-key. This is my first ever best ball playoff draft, my playoff best ball draft. So, I really have no idea what the optimal strategy is.
And, wide receiver, Quentin Johnson's still there. I love me some Quentin Johnson. I'm saying, DJ Moore is who we should go. But I'm just saying, there's, Jaden Reed could pop.
Jaden Reed.
QBs, there's only so many. It's not like Bryce Young's not going to do anything for you.
No. Could also go Kyle Monangai. We could go. We just kind of talked them up a little bit, the Bears and the running backs, and how he's usable.
Yeah, I think Monangai's great.
I'm just putting a star on some players just to get some names on the board to generate the conversations. Tootin might be a good last round flyer. Now we're at the point where I don't mind scrolling because now we're this is the end of the draft is the 10th round, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
This is it. These are our last 2 picks.
Okay.
I think DJ Moore for sure, and then we talk.
Do it, DJ.
And then they're out. I'm sure that was sarcastic. I'm looking at the other screen, so I can't see your face. I think probably another running back just in case they both get eliminated. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
4.
Yeah, 100%.
And I like that we're balancing. I think I would probably lean towards an AFC quarterback, and maybe this means nothing, but I just think with
running back, AFC running back.
Yeah, that's how I just running backs. But I do like Monangai,
Jalen Warren, or Kenny Gainwell.
Jalen Warren, Kenny Gainwell. Oh, we are up. I'll probably take off. What do you? I think a guy there's Tootin there.
Monangai or Tootin. I don't want to run against Houston.
Let's. I'm good with either. If we want to do the
Monangai.
Yeah, Monangai gets more work.
Yeah.
Perfect. Although Tootin would have been great to stack, but I guess we also stacked Monangai, so it didn't make a difference. Yeah, this is interesting. I'm really excited to see how this turns out. If you want to do another one, that took 15 minutes.
I gotta go. I'm down to do another one.
I know. Now that I said this is my first playoff best ball draft. Now I'm done. I'm like, man, we can. You want to burn through a couple of these? 10 rounds, and each round is only 6 picks, 5 picks.
It's like going to the store.
Yeah, 60 total, and there are still some. I know, some of these guys are out. They've got
Jaden Reed
still here,
Herbert's I would think Herbert being there is crazy.
Yeah, Ted's still there. Rico Dowdle's still there. The
but Carolina
guy, there's still a lot of good players. You could really scroll down.
Gadsden. I would have taken Gadsden.
Yeah, you could take Ray Davis. I feel like he played a little bit more as the season came on. Not a lot. Bryce Young, if you want to just take that bet, I guess you can.
Emmanuel Wilson. Because Jacobs is banged up.
Right. Yeah. There's a Nick Chubb is available.
Kamani Vidal. Hampton's banged up. He had a huge brace on.
Yeah,
it's crazy how we're still going.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a couple of these. You can get really funky with this and really kind of try. The draft ended, by the way. We're just rolling in names now. Yeah, you can really get interesting here. And there's
You've gone too far.
There's the guy I think about every day. I can't believe they traded him. I'm not gonna. Anyway, so this is our first. This is our playoff best ball draft. We went Trevor Lawrence, Caleb Williams, CJ Stroud, a little 3 quarterback, just based off of looking on Twitter and folks that do it. That feels a little rare, which is always a good thing because going.
Nobody knows anything.
No one knows anything, and going chalk in a tournament with 100,000 people is not going to win you anything. I like our running backs a lot. Saquon's our heavy hitter. And then Blake Corum and Monangai, I think, are really high upside RB2s. And then Nico Collins, Jacoby Myers, Dallas Goddard, and DJ Moore to round out our pass catchers, we'll call it, because you don't have to specifically start at tight end. I think we have a lot of touchdown upside here, John.
Okay. I think.
I don't know about you, but I think we've got a lot of touchdown upside going on.
Okay, guys, we got to wrap up. We've been going 45 minutes. I hope you guys had fun. Best ball draft's about as fun as it gets. Maybe me and Anthony will just jump on and do another one before playoffs start tomorrow, because that's as good as it gets. Anthony, thanks for coming on. This was great. Little best ball reunion. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Make sure you check us out on Twitter. Come over to our Discord. I should have mentioned that earlier, but it's playoffs and we got sucked into this draft. That's it for us. Good luck to everyone who's betting on the playoffs.